Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be going over the best of E3. These are all the games that I felt like were the best that were shown off on Saturday and Sunday. Keep in mind there's still a few more days of newer games to be revealed, and we'll definitely be covering those as well. But I wanted to go ahead and make a video because we were talking about it last night over on my live stream as far as like, what are the new games that we're excited about. But anyways, just as a heads up, I'll have all the videos down below in the description box with like all of the audio because some of them have copyrighted music, as well as some of these trailers were kind of long. So I'm going to be skimming through, but I'll tell you guys the names of every single one of these games and have the pinned comment with all the links of these games that I'm excited about, that I found to be the best, and games that you can expect to see on the channel later this year and next year, because some of these have a 2022 release date. So anyways, the first game is Halo Infinite. No surprise over here that I'm really excited about this, as I was a huge Halo fan. We even got the Master Chief Collection, streamed it. I just want a new Halo game, and there's a huge announcement in this that mentions that this game will be free to play, the multiplayer, which is huge. The last Halo game that was technically free to play was one of them that was called Halo Online, and you had to do a lot of things to get a workaround to finally get it to run. And there was a smaller community, but they were pretty dedicated, but it wasn't official, which was unfortunate, so it didn't get obviously official support. But nonetheless, this is going to be really cool. This is going to be big for any content creators, as again, when any game is free to play that's like a big name like Halo, there's going to be a massive amount of players, and I'm really curious to see what Halo does to be more innovative in the FPS genre, as I liked Halo. I even went to different states to go play at MLGs. I like this game a lot. And there's a few new weapons over here, but I'm really waiting to see what else gets announced with this. I'm still wondering if they plan to do some sort of battle royale. That seems to be like the most popular thing. I personally prefer arena shooters. However, I know for the newer generation, that's kind of what the direction where a lot of games are kind of going. I'm curious to see if they announce that later down the line, but this is huge. Halo Infinite being free to play is so big again, and this will actually be coming out this year, holiday 2021. And again, I'll have all the trailers with a full sound. Like I said, there's just sometimes copyrighted music that does play. But this one is called Seperate Channel Ballet. And it kind of reminds me of like Super Hot, or any game that is like really stylistic or combo heavy. You can see you can like even blow the floor out. This one looks awesome, and I'm really looking forward to playing all these games. Like I said, these are like the best games that I saw that I was interested in. And it looks like you can combo very heavy. I'm a huge fan of like Devil May Cry, or even you could even say Doom Eternal is kind of a combo-ish game, because you can like mix and weave certain weapons together to do cool things. And I think this makes great for any content creator or just having a blast. I really love that game Super Hot, and it kind of reminded me of that. Obviously, it's a lot different. It doesn't work on the mechanic where when you move, perhaps, but I just think it looks like a really fast-paced action game. And like I said, I won't play all the trailers. I'll just mention the games that I'm excited about, and the full trailers will be in the pinned comment, just in case any of you guys do want to watch it with the audio. But this game is called Aragami II. Now, the first game, if you guys haven't seen it, I do have a full playthrough of this game. It's really cool. It's like a ninja stealth assassin game. If you guys remember like Tenchu for the PS1, or some of these like other ninja games that were like emerging in like, I would say PS2, Xbox 360 era, I felt like these games just went away. I just maybe haven't heard of any like really cool ninja games more recently. I guess Ghost of Tsushima, you can kind of sneak around too. I love games like this where you're able to sneak around and be a ninja, but this one you've got lots of different powers. And the first game you had like this cape, and it kind of was like your HUD in a sense. It was cool how they implemented that in, but you got a lot more powers in this one. Like they'll show off if they end up showing off like the scroll wheel here, you'll see a bunch of different skills that you can utilize to take down guards. So yeah, I'll definitely do a full playthrough of Aragami 2. You can see he's going to eliminate the guy over here. But yeah, I like these types of games. They're really cool. It almost feels kind of like a puzzle in a sense, because you want to take out this guy, take out this other guy. I'm not sure if they're showing off co-op here, but I remember that the first game actually had co-op, which is pretty cool for less. Okay, yeah, now you can see all of the skills. You can see they're using one of the skills over here, and we'll see what happens when they use that ability. So he's gonna go wait. Maybe wait for the right moment. But I like these types of games. So he's using Memorize. I guess that's like maybe like a little stun, and you can walk past him. Okay. But yeah, like I said, there's tons of cool abilities in this game. There's a lot more than the first one, at least. And yeah, you just assassinate and make your way through. That's kind of what to be expected with this type of game. Now, this one is called Play the Ascent. It looks like a twin like analog shooter type of game, and it looks like it's also a looter game, which, you know, as a fan of action RPGs, that's a huge drive and incentive to keep grinding these types of games. And it almost looks like there's certain classes, I'm not sure, it says team up, so it's going to be co-op, and you can see that there's loot that drops on the ground. One of them had like a beam of light. It looks like there's like a mech. I'm really curious to see if this game is going to be one of like the first like futuristic ARPG twin stick shooters that like can be really successful, because I feel like action RPGs, they're always like fantasy for the most part, but this game will be coming out relatively soon, so we'll definitely be able to cover that. But speaking of action RPGs, now this is not necessarily a newer game, but this trailer just came out, and it's kind of important for those of you guys that are interested in Diablo, because it's announced 9/23/21 this is going to be available. Which is awesome. So we have a release date for Diablo II Resurrected, which we've actually already had access to. Blizzard hooked us up with early access. We've already covered it on the channel. It's going to be awesome. It's basically the same Diablo II, but with a bunch of quality of life changes, and on top of that, it's just a lot nicer to actually be able to play in 1920 by 1080, as I still even covered Diablo II, even earlier times this year. We've streamed lots of different Diablo 2 mods, and it's going to be so awesome to finally get our hands on something that looks a lot nicer, and a lot of people will be able to experience Diablo 2 for the first time, and that makes me excited as a content creator, because this game is hard and people will definitely be looking up guides. And if this is your first time playing Diablo 2, don't worry if you die. This game is not very like beginner friendly. It doesn't hold your hand, which I like. I feel like games these days, they're always like, do this to do this, a huge giant pop-up on the screen. This game was just like, go. It just puts you out in the wild. I like that. But yeah, and this is the first time we're seeing some of the other like abilities in certain areas. You can see Act 4, there's the summoner from Act 2, which is awesome. Like all this stuff, it's awesome. And they show Tyrael at the very end. It doesn't really matter. They already showed off the release date. But that's basically it for this one. Next up, this is Atomic Heart. This is via Bethesda here. This game just looked awesome too. There's a lot of games that just look so interesting. At first, I thought this was going to be like a super futuristic sci-fi, but no, it actually takes place, I think it's 1955 is the date that they put in the description for this game. It just looked really cool. Like the whole world looked really awesome. And I feel like sometimes when games go too far back in the past, they kind of limit themselves with what they show off, you know, like in terms of like what weapons can be available. They try to stick true to it, but this game is going in a completely different direction, which I like. And there seems to be like some type of open world. Maybe you're going to meet characters, and it just looks awesome. Another great Bethesda game to look forward to. There's also some type of like gravity manipulation. I like games that have that, specifically for lots of puzzles and different gameplay mechanics. This game looks awesome as well. But this is going to be on the Xbox. But yeah, I believe it's, 1955 is where it takes place. This is Babylon's Fall. I'm curious to know how you guys feel about this, because sometimes trailers change and people's opinions change on this, but looking by the like to dislike ratio, some of the fans were kind of upset, because this was a game I was really excited about. I want to show you guys the E3 2021 trailer, and then I want to go back. I'm just going to go like skim through it so you guys can get right to the gameplay over here. So it shows off some of like what I would consider maybe classes over here. I'm not sure what they're actually calling it, but this class kind of got showed off. It's like a melee, or like it could be just a weapon. I don't know. Maybe it's the character that you choose. But this is a game I was interested in. It was shown off like 2 years ago. It kind of reminded me of some of the Platinum games, or like if you played Nier. Some of the ranged combat looked a little bit slower here, and there's also what looks like to be like a mage class, right? And there's maybe a class with like a hammer, or again, it could just be like the weapon archetype that is a little bit slower that was shown off. And a lot of people were, I guess, really upset with this. I'm curious to know if you guys were interested in this game. Did it change your opinion via seeing this newer trailer here? Some of the stuff looked like similar, but I think that the fast-paced action of the first trailer that they showed off in 2019, it looked more exciting to me personally. I'm just going to go ahead and pause it here, because now that you guys have seen like some of the other classes, the game just looked like it was a lot faster paced, and it showed off like a really cool boss battle. Now this is 2019 footage, okay? So this is 2 years ago. The game, it just looked like it was a little bit faster, and if they could maybe show off more cuts, maybe that could have helped them out. But like, judging by the trailer, again, like there was a lot of dislikes. I'm still interested in the game, but I'm just curious to know how you guys feel about it, because for me, it just felt like, okay, there's just a few other classes, but like this was relatively well received, right? So I'm curious to know if they end up even changing, because look at that, like you can grapple, like it looked like there was a lot more combos. I love games like Devil May Cry, but then you can see this epic boss battle over here. And I think the 2019 trailer was honestly better. But hey, you know what? At least they get the feedback that they want. You know, perhaps a lot of people want the game to be more fast, action-paced, and they can make adjustments to that. That would be really cool if they can take that into consideration, because I like my games way faster. But this is another game that I was interested in, which is Shadow Warrior 3. If you guys like classic games like Duke Nukem, this is definitely going to be for you. I mean, heck, you can play the previous Shadow Warrior games as well. But this game just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun as well. It's just going to be high action, lots of gore, and I like that. You know, kind of like Doom Eternal in a sense, but I'm not sure if you're going to have to like swap weapons like you had to in Doom Eternal, which I actually kind of like. In this game, you do have a lot of like crazy weapons. You even have like a sword. You play as this guy named Wang. If you guys haven't played the other Shadow Warrior games, check out the gameplay for it. It's definitely something that can be really entertaining. There's a lot of funny moments in that. You can see they're even doing some of the stuff from like previous games, but I like how he's able to take that little like eye that he like ripped out of the opponent and threw it, and then it froze the enemy. So like there could be some combo plays with like eliminating certain enemies first, which I like in the FPS genre versus just point gun and shoot at things until they die. You know, I like to have a little bit of variety, but this is another game I'm interested in. It got announced a while ago, but this is technically just a newer trailer, right? Because this is all the stuff that was announced at E3. Now this game is actually called Replace. This one is like a 2D side-scroller, and I love 2D side-scroller games, especially when they feel like they put a lot of effort into like the game visually, and you could definitely tell that they put a lot of effort into this game's visuals. You'll see some of the cool combos you can do. Is kind of just setting it up over here. I'm gonna fast forward to like the action, because the action looks really awesome as far as like what you can do. They even have like the camera moving. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen during actual gameplay, but some of the movement things that you can do look very stylistic. Like watch what he does to some of these enemies here in just a moment, and it looks kind of like a world. Maybe we'll meet characters, and I like it when some of these 2D games have like a world that you can kind of traverse, and looks like there's some platforming, which I don't really care too much about, to be honest. But he was able to jump on top of that enemy and like roll over him. I think this game looks really cool, but this one's not coming out until 2022. But I think the last like 2D side-scrolling game that I really enjoyed was like My Friend Pedro, if you guys remember that game, which we actually played on the channel as well. Next up, this is Stalker, Heart of Chernobyl. This game, if you guys haven't seen like the first Stalker, it has a lot of really great reviews. If you guys have played like Metro, this is kind of like that style of game. It's a little bit slower paced, but it just seems like they did a really good job overall on this game. The way that it like visually looks and some of the characters that show off. It's kind of a longer trailer. I'm not going to play the full thing. They kind of show off one mechanic that I thought was kind of cool, where there was this. Let me find it. There's like this thing. I'm not sure what it is. That's the point of it. It's like these crazy like monsters. He's got this weird like gadget, and he's throwing what looks like to be these little like nuts and bolts, and he's trying to get something else that he has to path towards. I like it again when the FPS games do these more interesting things in terms of like gameplay mechanics. And then he picks up some sort of item over here. But this is another game that I'll be interested in playing on the channel. But those are the best of E3 in terms of the games that I'm interested in playing. If there's any games that you guys felt like I missed out on, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And you guys can also tell me what games you guys are most excited about. For me, yeah, these are the games that I felt like I'm really excited about. And we'll be covering all of these on the channel as they come out. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. And if you guys want to see more of these games and it happens to be your first time here, hey, if you want to see it, hit subscribe, turn on that bell, because there are going to be a bunch of other games that will be coming out in the upcoming days that I do plan to cover as well. But again, these are my opinions. You guys can let me know yours down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.